hit that subscribe button, guys, for the latest in boxing. And if you wish to support this channel, please join my Patreon. The link is down below in the description. So, you know, guys, I was thinking about Deontay Wilder becoming the A side, because there are times where I'll receive a comment, or not just on my channel, but like on boxing forums, I'll see like a Deontay Wilder fan saying that, you know, Deontay Wilder's the WBC heavyweight champion. You know, he deserves a 50-50 split against Anthony Joshua, right? Some of them even straight up say he's the A side. I don't know how they say that. I don't know how they'll think this. I mean, but they say stuff like I said, he deserves it because he's the WBC champion. There's another thing I see them say. He has 40 fights. I've seen this a few times. Well, Deontay Wilder has 40 fights. Therefore, he deserves to have a 50-50 split in the spurt, in the purse earnings, right? Because he has 40 fights. Of course, boxing fans like this need to understand it's about quality of opposition, not just having 40 fights. You know, what good is it knocking out 40 guys if you don't recognize a single guy in that guy's resume? But, you know, these boxing fans don't seem to understand this. It's not about just having 40 fights that makes you the A side. It's about quality of opposition. Okay, if you had 40 fights and 40 by KO and they were against some really high quality level opposition, okay, homie, that's a whole different story. That's a whole different, you know, ball game, basically. So, but that's not the case with Wilder. The majority of those 40 fights were against guys that were basically cab drivers. You know what I'm saying? So I was thinking, what does Deontay Wilder have to do to become the A side against Anthony Joshua? Well, it's very simple. Deontay Wilder has to fight. First of all, if Deontay Wilder fought Tyson Fury next and beat Tyson Fury, that would help him. That would give him a little boost. But it still won't be enough. What Wilder has to do is this. Fight Anthony Joshua. Fight him in the stadium in Wembley in the UK. This is a must. He has to fight him in the UK because the UK is thriving with boxing right now. The UK is thriving. Everything about boxing, hardcore, you know, people are going crazy for boxing in the UK basically. So he has to fight him in the UK. He has to fight him. He has to hope to sell out a massive crowd. You know, a massive. Like say he sells out another 90,000 tickets with Anthony Joshua. And he has to knock out Anthony Joshua. He has to knock him out in front of 90,000 people. Knock him out. And become undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. Because if he knocks out Anthony Joshua in front of 90,000 people in the UK on pay-per-view, that right there is going to basically make his profile go through the roof. Right, his stock's gonna rise because now he's the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. Homie, this guy's undisputed. Now he just beat the biggest cash cow in the heavyweight division, which is Anthony Joshua. So now he has all these belts. Now he has a win over the cash cow of the heavyweight division, which is Anthony Joshua. And on top of that, he did it in the UK, a place that is basically thriving with boxing fans. You know, people are going crazy for boxing in the UK. On top of that, he did it on pay-per-view. This pay-per-view is probably going to sell 1.5 million pay-per-view buys. That's going to make him, that's going to basically give him so much exposure. People, you know what's going to happen? People are going to be doing the same thing they did when Vladimir Klitschko fought Anthony Joshua. They're going to be saying, I want a rematch. Especially if the fight was competitive prior to the stoppage. They're going to be like, yo, I'm willing to pay again to come at Wembley and pay, you know, I don't know, 400 pounds to watch, I don't know, UK currency. Sorry, maybe 400 pounds is way overboard, but let's just say that. I'm willing to pay 400 pounds to watch AJ face of Deontay Wilder in Wembley because the boxing fans wanted to see Vladimir versus Joshua part 2 because it was such an exciting fight, right? So imagine this fight ends up being very exciting and this big American named Wilder knocks him out. people are going to be demanding a rematch. And let's say he fights Anthony Joshua for a rematch. And let's say he beats him again. Knocks him out again. Let's say they fight again in Wembley, right? And let's say this time, instead of 90,000, let's say 95,000 tickets are sold. Once again, the fight happens on pay-per-view. Once again, it sells 1.5 million. Once again, Wilder beats him. Now his stock rises even more. You see what I'm saying? This is pretty much the only way I see Wilder going around claiming that he's the A-side. If he does something like this, he has to do this feat. He has to accomplish this little feat right here. Beating Anthony Joshua in the UK on pay-per-view in front of 90,000 people. Then I'll be changing my tune with Wilder. I'll be going around saying, you know what, no, Wilder's the A-side now. He got all the belts. He got all the belts. He knocked out AJ in the UK in front of 90,000 people. 90,000 people on pay-per-view, homie. He the A-side. Now I'm going to be changing my tune. But again, Wilder's going to have to do that. I can't convince Wilder or force Wilder to do this. It's not my fault that Wilder's prolonging this fight. It's his fault. You know, just like it wasn't my fault or your fault that Wilder didn't want to fight Vladimir Klitschko. When he should have. When he could have. So, again, that's what Wilder has to do if he wants to be the A-side. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Thanks for watching. As always, if you watched the video from start to finish, much appreciated. Please hit that subscribe button to watch the latest in boxing and raw boxing opinions. And if you love this content, if you want to support the channel, there's a link in the description for my Patreon account. You could become a Patreon. Anyway, guys, that's all I have to say. Thanks for watching and much love. Bye-bye.